Hello, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a very anticipated video. Ever since I moved into this apartment in April, I've just been scouring for and procuring different antiques because I was anticipating this moment. So yeah, today we're going to be doing my everyday makeup tutorial, not in the sense that it's everyday makeup, but in the sense that it's my everyday makeup. So for me, what that entails is my everyday smoky eye and my kind of blushed glowy skin. So that is what the tutorial is going to be on. And without further ado, let's just get started, shall we? Let's actually start by taking my rings off. So I'm going to start with 2 pumps of sunscreen, kind of as my primer. And so with that done, we can now get started on the basis for the eyes. Actually, I think it's smarter if you do the sunscreen after the eye look. It's just that whenever I film, it's like I have 0 brain capacity left. And I always scramble up the order of my routine, even though I can perfectly remember it normally. It's just that you guys make me so flustered. I'm stumbling around. So taking kind of a basic taupe shade as our first kind of transition shade, I'm going to place that on the crease, creating kind of that V lifted shape. And I am not going to go beyond the middle of my pupil, so kind of not venturing too much to the inner part of the crease. And then also just in general for my kind of winged shape, I like to follow the trajectory of the lower lash line. So kind of the angle that is at is the angle that my smoky eye will be at. And just keeping it very soft in general, well blended and very soft. Gonna put a little bit more. Next up, I'm taking a little bit of this dark brown and kind of following the same steps as the previous step. So just kind of following that base that we already put down. If you're wondering about the practicalities of this in real life, I can do this in about 10 to 12 minutes when I'm not talking through a tutorial. And so now that that is done, we can go ahead and start on the face. So my tip for perfect skin is a little bit of a skin tint. This is a very low coverage, easy to work with skin tint. I'm not really a foundation person. I've always preferred concealer, but I feel like just the tiniest bit of a skin tint really does help even out the skin and kind of gives you the feeling that you're like a portrait or a porcelain doll. So I'm just gonna put the tiniest bit and then immediately just start working that in and kind of cut your eyeshadow with that as well. Just follow that lower lash line again. I think that looks pretty good. Let's move on to blush. So I'm always a cream blush girl, and lately I've been using this one by e.l.f., which is in this beautiful red shade, very different for me. In general, when picking a blush shade and you want it to look very natural, you should pick a color that's very close to the color you naturally flush. So I'm just gonna go in and grab some of that on my finger, and then just kind of placing it and then blending it out with all my fingers and my entire hand. This is actually quite a lot of blush. Shape-wise, I've kind of been doing more of a W, although I haven't been doing the nose lately, and just higher up is what suits me as well. So then for concealer, I just put a little bit on the under eye, and then a few kind of problem areas. And then while I look ridiculous, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows just to let this kind of marinate. I don't know if there's any science behind this, but I just feel like concealer turns out better if you let it sit and kind of marinate for a little bit. So that means in the meanwhile, we have time to do the eyebrows. So in terms of eyebrows, I really don't do a lot. I kind of just end up brushing them into shape. And then I'm going to take the pencil bit just to do a little bit of work on the tail and a little bit in the sparse area that I have right on the arch itself. But this is really optional and I can definitely live without it. Look what I managed to scoop up, by the way. It's a little iron throne for your beauty blender. This is the cutest stinking thing ever. In the week that I've had this has just given me immense amounts of joy. So I'm gonna blend my concealer with my beauty blender and then immediately going in with my powder on a little powder brush. And I always kind of start with my under eyes. And once again, you can use this opportunity to cut your eyeshadow. My battery's dying, so I'm gonna put a new one in. And then just taking whatever powder's left over on a powder brush and just putting that all over. And then it's time to go and finish up the eyes. We are almost done. So I'm taking something kind of like a paddle brush, and then with that same dark brown that we used in the eye on the second step, we are just going to be drawing, kind of sketching a very soft wing. So everything we've done has followed the lower lash line, so the same goes for the wing. And we are just kind of going to be sketching that on. This does not have to be precise or neat. Remember, it's a smoky eye. And then on a pencil brush, I'm once again taking that same dark brown. I'm just going to put a little bit connecting that wing to the lower lash line. Just the tiniest bit of smokiness so the lower lash line doesn't feel too unbalanced. But we are not going for super smoky on the lower lash line unless you want to go there. I personally like to keep it very low-key. Low-key, I say, as I'm literally doing a smoky eye every day. This is definitely an optional step, but I like taking kind of a soft smoky black and just enhancing the wing just a tiny bit with that same paddle brush. Now I'm taking NYX's Jumbo Pencil in the shade Milk, which is a white shade. So once again, same thing, starting from the pupil to the brow bone. Put some white there, and then put some on the inner corner. And then I'm just going to blend that with my finger. And this ends up working for me because I have a very light skin tone, and this is kind of a highlight for my skin tone. If you have a darker skin tone, obviously you want something that is a highlight for your skin tone. Now taking the tiniest bit of a white highlight shadow, I'm going to take that on a detail brush and just go over that really softly. And that is that. We are literally in the last stretch now. Listen, it wouldn't be a Sabrina Angelina video if I forgot about my beauty marks, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Using my beloved Lottie London Freckle Tint in the shade Light. That's done, and now we can go ahead and set all of that with some setting spray. Now for the final touches, go in with your favorite mascara. This is Glossier's Lash Lick Mascara. And if you've seen that one Anya Taylor-Joy interview, then you will also pay some extra attention to the lashes on the outer end, kind of connecting those. And so that's the end result of this tutorial. As you can see, we got the smoky eye going on, we got a little bit of blush, we got some glowy skin. Pretty dramatic for every day, but that's how I like it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! I'm not answering that. I've seen Scream literally yesterday.